Hi, I'm Mark. This is Steve. Steve is completely new to screenwriting, so he has no idea how the format works. And he reads books, so that's just going to confuse the shit out of him. I'm here to kick all of the bad habits out of Steve. Right, Steve?
Sure.
Go ahead, Steve. You can start. With you watching me? That's kind of awkward.
Just shut the f up and do it, Steve.
Okay, right. Let's the brilliance begin. We're going to write us a great screenplay. Okay. We see a man walk into a room. Why we see, Steve? Why are you saying we see? It's screenwriting speak. I'm a screenwriter, and that's what we say. But we see everything, Steve. It's a movie. You don't need to say it. It's implied that we see it because it's a movie, genius. Oh, yeah. Look, I'm not saying it's always wrong to say we see. I'm just saying, like, why say it? I never really understand why people have to say it when it's just so obvious that we're seeing it because it's a movie. I mean, look, sometimes it can be useful to say we follow as Dirk Diggler walks through the club, right? That would tell us we're moving through the club, following the character. That can be useful, but if the sentence makes sense without we see, then why use it? Because it's screenwriter speak. Can I slap you? So just use this rule. If the sentence works without we see, don't use it. Okay, I got it. David, 40, blonde hair, blue eyes, 5'8", walks into the room. He's wearing a blue cardigan and khaki pants. Why are you describing him like you're describing your Tinder date, Steve? I want the audience to know who the character is. How do you know what he's gonna look like? What if they hire Donald Glover? What if they hire a bald guy or a guy with dark hair? He could dye his hair. They're not gonna dye his hair for you, Steve. It's the casting director's job to figure out what people look like, not yours. Unless it's really important, I really don't care the specifics of how they dress. I mean, besides, you think we're gonna take wardrobe advice from you? You're wearing a cargo shorts and an action figure t-shirt. Just like give us a general note of what the character feels like. And that gives the casting director room to be creative. Like this. Steve, 50, a doofus with a bewildered look on his stupid face, sits at his computer, struggling to type out a sentence a third grader could read. Hey. Okay, how about this one from The Social Network? Erica, also 19, is Mark's date. She has a girl next door face that makes her easy to fall for. Or this one, Mark Zuckerberg is a sweet-looking 19-year-old whose lack of any physically intimidating attributes masks a very complicated and dangerous anger. He has trouble making eye contact, and sometimes it's hard to tell if he's talking to you or himself. All right, granted, that's a long and complex one, but that's for the protagonist. You can afford to give us a little fancy description of your protagonist the first time we meet them. Oh. That's very descriptive. Or you can go simple, like this description from Gone Girl. Nick's twin sister Go, 30s, nerdy hot, is washing mugs. It's good, it's descriptive, it's broad enough so we can cast a wide variety of people. Okay. Jim enters a blue house surrounded by a white picket fence. No, it's not a blue house surrounded by a white picket fence. It's not. It's whatever house says yes when the location scout knocks on their door and asks, hey, can we pay you to disrupt your life and fuck up your house for a month? The house has to be blue. It's symbolic. Oh, stop with that shit, please. They're not gonna build you a little blue house for the scene, Steve. Okay? Look, this isn't a novel. It doesn't all exist in your head. You, as a screenwriter, are collaborating with reality. Just like with the casting. You don't know what your character's gonna look like or who they will be played by. You also don't know what house they're gonna shoot in. Frankly, you don't even know what state they're gonna shoot in. You could write the whole thing to take place in Massachusetts, and they'll change the location to Georgia at the last minute because it has better tax credits. So focus on what is important. And what's that? The story, jackass. Oh yeah. Keep going, Steve, keep going. Let's give it another shot, I guess. Jim's room is full of mahogany furniture. The wallpaper is yellow with a pattern of red barns scattered across it. There is a wagon wheel coffee table and a picture of dogs playing poker on the wall.
Steve, you're boring me to tears here describing a room. What are you describing everything for?
I have to give the reader a picture. No, stop. First of all, screenwriting works at a pace of a page per minute. You just spent 20 seconds staring at wallpaper. 20 seconds is a long time. Seriously, try it. Let's stare at each other for 20 seconds. Screw it. I have ADHD. I can't do 20 seconds. I can't do 5 seconds. See, that's a long time. You've got to control the pace, as the experience of reading the screenplay has to be as close to the experience of watching the movie as possible, okay? Which means you've got to write at a pace of a page per minute. And plus, again, you are doing other people's jobs for them. Other people who have talents in their field. You, presumably, are a writer, which means you are there to come up with the plot and the characters and the dialogue, although that's debatable. Hey, you are not a production designer. They're gonna get some weirdo who knows design and went to RISD for 6 years to design a living room, and not you. A general rule, don't tell me about the picture on the wall unless you're gonna smash it over someone's head in the next scene. Well, how are they supposed to picture the room? How are they supposed to picture it? Just say it's a room. It's a room. They know what a room looks like. They're not dumb. They fill in the blanks. You can get a little fancy if you want. Now, I'm not saying it has to be completely dry and boring, but you can't take up any extra time doing it. That's the trick. For example, you could say this apartment is sparsely decorated. It looks like Steve just moved out of his mama's basement and into this apartment. That hits home. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Right? You can give us a general note of what the place feels like, but leave the details to the experts. Do your job. You are not the production designer. You are not the casting director. And make it a fun, engaging reading experience. That feels like a conflicting note. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It ain't easy. Okay. What should I write in some dialogue here? Let the brilliance begin. Steve, stop. Why would you write sarcastically? Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think the readers are idiots? Look at this script. Oh, come on, look at this. You have parentheticals everywhere. Wistfully, sarcastically, excitedly. Can I have my computer back? Just stop. Or actors hate these, by the way, okay? They hate them. Are you an actor? I was in Atomic Brain Invasion. No one cares, Steve. How else are the actors supposed to know how to read their lines? They are actors. That's their job. First of all, Nicolas Cage built his entire career on reading a script, figuring out how a human being would say something, and then going the opposite direction. True. Right? There is no one way to say a line. And what's this? Look at this. You got camera directions all over this thing. Christopher Nolan does it. Yeah, okay, well, Christopher Nolan does it. And when you have an Oscar and $1 million, you can put camera angles in your script too, okay? Man, this screenwriting stuff is difficult. No camera angles. First of all, if you know anything about directors and you think that if you put a little camera direction saying move the camera or make it a close-up and put close-up here, you think they're gonna follow you, I guarantee you the director will shoot the whole movie in wide just to spite you, okay? So just don't even bother with the camera angles. You can sort of suggest camera angles in the way that you write and space out the action. For instance, you could say, instead of saying close up on the bottle of Oxycontin, you could just say a bottle of Oxycontin on one line, and then we know that we're gonna close up on it, and then I'm about to take the whole bottle if I have to read any more of your shitty screenplay. All right, Steve, let's go. Let's try writing some action. Okay, Jim walks to the counter. Come on, Steve, stop being such a basic bitch. Use better verbiage. You only have a few words to use, why not make them count, right? He's walking, he's just walking. But, well, he's walking, yeah, but he could dash, he could creep, he could sidle over to them. No one sidles. I'm sidling right now. Look, the point is you only have so many words in a screenplay. It's not like a novel where you can go on forever. You have just so few words. Why not make your verbs come alive? And another thing, No passive verbs, okay? No ings, no ises, all right? Everything should be active. For instance, like, you shouldn't say, I am f***ing your mother. You would say, Mark f***s your mother, right? It's just more active. Hey, Steve, it's just an example. Come on. I didn't really do it. Is your mom hot? Can you use a different example? You have to think of a screenplay. It is a series of events unfolding in real time, in present tense, one image after another, after another, after another. Interior, my grandma's basement, Michigan, 1982-dusk. Wait. We don't need all that. Just interior, int, exterior, ext. It's just a basement, day or night, okay? We don't need twilight or midday, Steve. A screenplay is a blueprint. This is the thing you have to understand. The production needs to know, are we shooting this at day or at night? That's all they need to know. If you say we're shooting at midday, they're probably shooting it all day, let's face facts, and therefore it doesn't really matter, and midday doesn't look like anything different from day, okay? So just day or night. What about dusk? Yeah, you can say dusk every once in a while, but just be forewarned that when you put dusk in a screenplay, it's like saying, hey, you have 45 minutes to shoot this. And so the production doesn't necessarily love it, but yeah, there's definitely reasons for a scene to take place at dusk. Yeah, okay. Another thing about scene headings, if you want to break up a big scene but keep the flow, you can use a thing called a sub-scene heading. What this is it divides like a big space up into smaller little spaces, or even points you to focus on a specific set of characters or events. For instance, let's say we're in a party and we are, we start off in the party, and then all of a sudden we're with Mark and Steve, although we're at the counter, right? Or let's say, for instance, we're in a room, but also let's say my twin brother is hiding in your closet watching you while you sleep. You can use a sub-scene heading to say, in the closet, and then we would go to him pleasuring himself. Wait, do you have a twin brother? Oh yeah, and he's a real pervert. But that's besides the point, okay? Sub-scene headings divide up the space, allowing you to direct the focus of the reader, and they are action lines, not scene headings. They're all caps, and they are left justified. Hey, that was actually helpful, and not that mean. Yeah, don't get used to it. Here's some more helpful tips. Let's say you want to show people in two different places talking, right? Like, I'm having phone sex with your mom. So when I call her, we would start off and say interior Mark's house, night, because that's what I like to call her. And then I would say Mark dials the phone, your mother Susie answers. How do you know my mother's name? And they begin having phone sex. But then it would cut, let's say we want to see your mother during the phone sex. What we would do then, we would go and we would cut to her, and it would say interior Steve's mom's house dash night, because that's when I like to have someone sex with your mom. And then your mom wearing negligee begins to pleasure herself. The next thing, and then if we want then to be like intercut between them, what we would do is we'd say intercut dash Mark's love pad slash your mom. And then from then on, we would be able to cut. It just intercuts. We're just back and forth, and it just makes it flow better, you know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where these examples come from, Steve. It just is. Just like be thankful that I'm teaching you, okay? And if you want more helpful writing tips, you can check out the Ultimate Screenwriters Workbook. Can you stop with your shameless plug in the middle of this video and get back to teaching me? Okay, let's go, Steve. Let's go. Write me an action scene. They fight. Jim punches Barry. Wait. You gotta capitalize punch. Why would I capitalize punch? For emphasis, Steve, in screenwriting we use capitalization for emphasis. That reads weird. Yeah, it does. Think of writing a screenplay as your grandma is writing an angry email to Social Security. There's all caps everywhere, right? You use all caps to emphasize major sound cues, significant props, and any action you want to emphasize, like punches, explosions, etc. And also, Steve, like, look, you have this all in one giant, massive, horrible paragraph. That looks like a novel to me. And what you want to do is you want to break the paragraph up into smaller chunks with white space. Like, you can have white space every other line, but I wouldn't go more than 4 or 5 lines in a row without putting a white space in between. I mean, that's a whole paragraph, man. We can't read paragraphs. The screenwriting people, we can't read paragraphs of stuff. That's for book people. Why can't people read paragraphs? Because we're movie people. We ain't here for fancy book learning. You have to trick us to read. Like, look, you got all your action in a giant ass paragraph. I can't read that! It's a paragraph. You've got to break it up with white space. Every 3 or 4 lines, break it up. Or whatever it feels right, break it up. Write it like the dumbest person you can imagine is going to read it. And we'll give up if it ever gets even the teensiest bit difficult, because they will. Okay, so basically, let me get this straight. So I have to write at a pace of 1 page per minute. Don't describe anyone, don't direct the actors, don't do other people's jobs, but make it an exciting reading experience that a child can understand. And use all caps like a grandma writing an angry letter. You got it, man! Congratulations. Now you just gotta figure out how to, create characters, write dialogue, plot, structure, but we got the format down. That does not sound easy. If you want more tips on how to write a screenplay, check out this video right here. And if you want more help, check out the Ultimate Screenwriters Workbook.